confused. She called out again, slightly concerned. But before Saima could take another step or reach for a light switch, a figure walked towards her in the dark. In the faint ambient glow from the streetlights outside, Saima could just make out her attacker's outline. A person about her size, dressed in black. But there was no time to scream before the first hit came. The knife was in her abdomen with so much force, and Saima cried out loud. Suddenly, she was in shock and pain. She had been stabbed by surprise in her own home. Maybe it was then that she recognized the face in front of her, despite the dark. Her sister. Saima fought back. She was unarmed, blindsided, but the instinct to live and protect her children couldn't have been weak. In that home's narrow hallway, a struggle unfolded. Saima tried to grab the knife and shove Saba away. The sisters fought, knocking against the walls. Family portraits hanging in the hall crashed to the ground. A table holding a vase of flowers tipped over, shattering glass on the floor. Saba was now more angry than ever. All her years of jealousy, heartbreak, and hatred was expressed through the knife she held. She stabbed again and again, each time harder than the last. Saima's screams echoed through the house and up the staircase where the kids slept. These were the screams that the neighbors would later recall with a shudder. They were the sounds that woke Saima's sleeping children in their beds. Upstairs, the children were now scared and confused. The eldest child, alarmed by the commotion and their mother's voice in pain, crept to the top of the staircase. From that upstairs balcony in the dark, the little girl saw it, her mother on the ground. The little girl even asked, "Saba, are you killing Mom?" That question, equal parts confusion and horror, momentarily broke through Saba's anger. Her eyes turned upwards to the landing where she could barely see her niece's small silhouette. But Saba was too far gone in that moment to turn back. "Stay upstairs," she said to her niece. "Don't come down here." The words were both a threat and some twisted form of protectiveness. She didn't want the child to see any more or to interfere. Terrified, the girl listened, going back into her room. But nothing could stop her from hearing what came next. The moment the little girl was gone, Saba simply continued. Saima, now deeply hurt, had collapsed onto her back on the floor. Blood pooled around her, making it slippery. She tried to crawl, moving towards the front door to escape, but she just couldn't. Saba pinned her down and continued. The knife rose and fell, rose and fell. Saima's hands were covered in gashes from trying to grab the blade, defensive wounds that spoke to her will to survive. At some point in the chaos, the knife slashed across Saima's right hand, cutting deeply through her palm as she tried to shield herself. Another slash pierced her side, a stab to the chest, two more to the abdomen. Saima's cries slowly softened as she bled onto the floorboards. Then came the final